Welcome to KGW News at 5 o'clock. After more than a day of snow closures, Highway 26 is back open tonight toward Mount Hood. The road is still closed east of Mount Hood, however, so if you're headed to Central Oregon, you'll have to find another route. Galen Etlin is live tonight in Rhododendron, where people had to wait since yesterday for the road to open. Galen, I bet a lot of people are relieved tonight.
Yeah, can you imagine, Laurel? They were waiting a long time in the cold. Right now, we are right on that freezing mark. So we're no longer seeing that heavy, wet snow we were seeing earlier. Right now, it's transitioned to very chilly rain instead. Overall, though, the roads have cleared out. Like you said, the road is back open toward Mount Hood, and businesses have really felt the impact. Just before midday Tuesday, trucks and cars lined a snowy Highway 26 in the village of Rhododendron.
It's an adventure for us. I'm out here twice a week.
Matt Ludley is a truck driver based in Minnesota.
We were like born in this stuff.
He's used to snow, but icy conditions diverted him from I-84 on Monday.
We got up here because Trip Check said it was open and it was very delayed.
ODOT crews worked to clear the way.
Ramen noodles. Winter up here, you know, it's a wild ride.
Judah Larson works at Mount Hood Village Market on Highway 26.
Not very many people coming up today.
He has lived in Rhododendron about 20 years.
This is the first time I've ever seen the resorts, all three of them in one single day, be closed.
Timberline, Mount Hood Meadows, and Ski Bowl were all impacted since not enough staff could commute through the wintry mess.
We're kind of a rest area with snacks.
Control your own risk. Yeah, but I wanted to get you out of here first.
But more than 24 hours later, Oregon State Police were able to remove their blockade and guide drivers ahead. Welcome news to Matt Ludley.
Yeah, paid by the mile.
Whose time is money.
All right, be safe. You're very welcome. Take care. All right.
Now, as we mentioned, 26 is still closed toward the Warm Spring area, so you'll want to keep that in mind. Now, Oregon State Police told us earlier they had planned to get the road open sooner, but people down the road past that closure had caused a few problems with the ODOT trucks that were plowing the way. So they say if you're out there, please take it slow and be careful. Back to you.
Important words of caution. Thank you, Galen. And another area dealing with a couple feet of snow is the Columbia River Gorge. Joe Ranieri's live in Hood River for us. And Joe, talk about a lot of snow. The snow has been really nonstop there for 3 days now.
Exactly right, Laurel. Good evening to you. 3 days and basically 3 feet of snow has been blanketing this section of Hood River here the last few days or so. And because of all that snow, I saw a lot of people who were out in front of their houses, out in front of their businesses in downtown, clearing the sidewalks and doing a little shoveling because it has just been nonstop here basically since Sunday afternoon. Now, I chatted with a couple of business owners just down the street from me who were doing just that, trying to clear the path outside their business earlier today. Caught up with Jacob Cook and Matthew Joyce, who work in downtown Hood River. They spent 4 hours this morning clearing their driveways and sidewalks. Much of the downtown area has anywhere from 3 feet on the ground, but all of this snow means some businesses are closed because delivery trucks couldn't make it out here today.
So today we don't have any dough and I don't have any cream cheese. So it's hard to own the business with the trucking not being able to get here.
It dropped anywhere from 18 inches to up on the hill. We've got 3 feet in some spots, and it's been relentless.
And Laurel, the scene out here is absolutely gorgeous. That is if you like snow. Now, while we have seen a lot of people shoveling their driveways and even their roofs earlier, there's also a lot of kids enjoying a day of sledding at a local park. Now, back here live at a few locations in downtown, it's tough to even walk because the sidewalks haven't been plowed. I walked down the street after our 4 o'clock live shot to get a cup of coffee and get warm, and the snow came up to my knees. And if you haven't had a chance to move your car in the last couple of days, Laurel, this is what you're going to be dealing with. It's going to take this driver a little bit of time to get out of this snow here in Hood River. And right now we're seeing a little mix of some snow and rain. And like Matt's been telling you, it's basically been nonstop, and it looks to continue that way heading into the next day or so. Back to you.
I'm glad you mentioned that car behind you. I was going to ask about it. He does have a lot of work ahead of him. Thank you, Joe. Maybe get a chisel out. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. The man said relentless. The snow has been relentless. What's next, Matt?
It really has. There's more snow on the way for the gorge, too. Look at the Dalles right now, though. Very snowy scene there. They still have the Christmas lights up at the Oregon Veterans Home, but it is above freezing. It's 35 degrees there. A little bit of warm air is mixed on down, which is good. That'll preclude freezing rain, or at least much of it. However, there is more snow on the way for the gorge, especially the central and eastern gorge, like Hood River over to the Dalles. Out towards Cascade Locks, it'll be potentially a little more icy, but then rain will happen there sooner. Let's check the pass cams. This is government camp. I mean, look at that. You can barely even tell there's a road there, let alone a major highway. Amazing. It has warmed up, though. It's just barely below freezing right now. Sandia Pass, not seeing much traffic there, just a big old snow bank. Just completely covered with snow. It is snowing again up at Timberline, 25 degrees, only 4 inches new today. Remember about a month ago, early December, we would have been doing cartwheels over 4 inches of snow. Now it's like, that's a flurry because we've been getting feet after feet, and the base is over 120 inches right now, and there is more on the way. Let's look at the 7-day snowfall totals. And remember, last week when it was super cold, we weren't getting much on a day-to-day basis, a little bit each day. We had nice powder, but the real big snowfall has been the last couple of days. And when you add it all up, 54 inches at Timberline, 7-day total of Meadows, nearly 5 feet, 57 inches, and Ski Bowl, 51 inches, basically doubling their snowpack in the last week from what it was prior to that. It has been an amazing run. So 10 to 20 inches of new snow in the Cascades through tomorrow. Then it's going to warm up. The gorge will see another 2 to 6 depending on exactly where you are in the gorge, and the snow level climbing, though, to 6,000 feet, which will be good news for the passes. They will melt out. It's going to create a really dangerous avalanche situation in the backcountry and make the snow really quite heavy and more difficult to move. So if you've got to clear your driveway, if you live in Hood River, government camp, anywhere like that, the sooner you get to it, the better, the easier it will be. Laurel?
I love it. 4 inches of snow is now a flurry.
Right?
Thank you, Matt. Looking ahead to the story at 6 o'clock, winter storms, as you can tell, are getting bigger, faster, and more severe. And we have climate change to thank for that. And as a result, public officials are trying to send you better warnings when it's just too dangerous to drive. In case in point, the chaos in Virginia, you probably heard about it, snow and ice stranded hundreds of drivers along this highway near D.C. overnight. Some were stuck there for more than 24 hours, making it home finally late today. Local and state officials say it reminds them of Portland's epic snowstorm. Remember that back in 2016 when school buses got stuck, people abandoned cars on the highways, things got really dangerous. In the aftermath of that storm, local officials started reworking their emergency alert system, implementing phrases like do not travel, stay indoors, and prepare for power outages. We'll talk more about this shift and what else officials are doing to try to keep you safe. That's coming up at 6 o'clock on The Story. Turning to the pandemic, Oregon has shattered its record for daily COVID cases. Yesterday, the Oregon Health Authority reported 4,540 new cases of COVID-19. That's about 1,000 more than the previous record, which was set only 5 days before that. OHA also says 44 people died from COVID-19 yesterday. This week, the Oregon Department of Education recommended schools pause extracurricular activities to limit COVID cases during the current surge of the Omicron variant. As districts discuss their options, our Christine Pitawanich found COVID is already affecting gameplay for some teens, with one district making the decision before the announcement.
Well, I'm Jolynn Trippy, and I'm a senior at Riverdale High School.
Jolynn Trippy loves basketball, and this year is her last shot on Riverdale's varsity basketball team.
The girls' team has won league twice in the past 3 years, and we could do it again this year.
But she worries that opportunity is in jeopardy after a couple players on the girls' and boys' varsity basketball teams tested positive for COVID. Now practices are canceled and games are postponed. In a statement, a Riverdale School District spokesperson says after collaborating with the county health department and the Oregon Health and Science University, the district determined that additional students may have been exposed because students competed without masks. The district says it's offering tests and expects results later this week, though it's still unclear exactly when players will be able to get back on the court.
Just disappointed that, I've worked so hard, and then senior year, it's just unfortunate.
But Jolynn, who is vaccinated and got her booster, says she's also confused.
If we're going to be suspended from play, then how are we still allowed at school?
So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's Jolynn's dad, Joe Trippy.
High school is kind of the end for this kind of team experience? When do we acknowledge that we've taken every reasonable mitigation effort to allow these kids to participate on some level of a new normal?
Jolynn says she's willing to play and practice in a mask or even bring players up from JV to keep playing basketball.
Like, there are other solutions, and I would like support in finding them.
The district says once players return to the court, they're going to have to be masked at all times. But Jolynn says by that point, it's possible the team will have missed a number of games, which puts them at a disadvantage. That's why she's hoping they'll get back to playing as soon as possible. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.